Welcome to today's video. Today we are going to talk about carbon cycle. What is carbon cycle, why it is so important, and how are we also a part of this cycle. So without a further ado, let's get started. Carbon cycle shows the movement of carbon in elemental and combined states on Earth. Diamond and graphite are the elemental forms of carbon, and in a combined state, it is found as carbonates in minerals and as carbon dioxide gas in the atmosphere. Carbon cycle steps. Following are the major steps involved in the process of the carbon cycle. Carbon present in the atmosphere is absorbed by plants for photosynthesis. These plants are then consumed by animals and carbon gets bioaccumulated into their bodies. These animals and plants eventually die, and upon decomposing, carbon is released back into the atmosphere. Some of the carbon that is not released back into the atmosphere eventually become fossil fuels. These fossil fuels are then used for man-made activities, which pump more carbon back into the atmosphere. Carbon cycle on land. Carbon in the atmosphere is present in the form of carbon dioxide. Carbon enters the atmosphere through natural processes such as respiration and industrial applications such as burning fossil fuels. The process of photosynthesis involves the absorption of CO2 by plants to produce carbohydrates. The equation is as follows: CO2 plus H2O plus energy, CH2O, N-PET-SO2 carbon compounds are passed along the food chain from the producers to consumers. The majority of the carbon exists in the body in the form of carbon dioxide through respiration. The role of decomposers is to eat the dead organism and return the carbon from their body back into the atmosphere. Oceanic carbon cycle. This is essentially a carbon cycle but in the sea. Ecologically, oceans take in more carbon than it gives out. Hence, it is called a carbon sink. Marine animals convert carbon to calcium carbonate, and this forms the raw building materials required to create hard shells, similar to the ones found in clams and oysters. When organisms with calcium carbonate shells die, their body decomposes, leaving behind their hard shells. These accumulate on the seafloor and are eventually broken down by the waves and compacted under enormous pressure, forming limestone. When these limestone rocks are exposed to air, they get weathered and the carbon is released back into the atmosphere as carbon dioxide. Importance of carbon cycle. Even though carbon dioxide is found in small traces in the atmosphere, it plays a vital role in balancing the energy and traps the long-wave radiations from the sun. Therefore, it acts like a blanket over the planet. If the carbon cycle is disturbed, it will result in serious consequences such as climatic changes and global warming. Carbon is an integral component of every life form on Earth, from proteins and lipids to even our DNA. Furthermore, all known life on Earth is based on carbon. Hence, the carbon cycle, along with the nitrogen cycle and oxygen cycle, plays a vital role in the existence of life on Earth.